There is a man at a gun range right now who just watched his buddy pick up his rifle, and that man's left eye twitched. Not from the muzzle blast, from the touching. Let's start at the beginning. Why do some people form an almost irrational bond with a specific firearm? Because it isn't irrational at all. Psychologists have a term called the endowment effect. Once an object belongs to you, truly belongs to you with your time and your attention and your money poured into it, it stops being just an object. It becomes an extension of you. And you don't let people handle extensions of yourself casually. You wouldn't hand a stranger your journal. You wouldn't let someone rifle through the notes on your phone. You wouldn't lend your therapy homework to a coworker. These things carry you in them. A gun that has been cleaned, adjusted, carried, and learned over years carries the same psychological weight. There's a woman in Arizona, let's call her Karen, no actually let's not, let's call her Dana, who has carried the same 1911 for 11 years. She's replaced the grips twice. She knows exactly what the trigger brake feels like. She knows the sound it makes when the slide goes home. She has muscle memory so specific that she could field strip it in a pitch-dark room during a mild earthquake while someone nearby was eating chips loudly. When her brother-in-law picked it up at Thanksgiving and pointed it at the TV to see how the sights feel, she did not raise her voice. She didn't need to. Her face said everything. The gun had become, in a real psychological sense, biographical. And you do not let people casually page through someone else's biography. Here's where it gets interesting. A lot of people assume that when someone refuses to let others touch their gun, it's about distrust. They think I'm going to drop it, they think I'm going to mess it up. And yes, sometimes that's true. But there's something deeper operating, and it's called competence protection. When you spend hundreds of hours developing mastery over something, the feel of a trigger, the zero of a scope, the exact way a bolt cycles, you are storing knowledge in your body, not just your brain. Neuroscientists call this embodied cognition. The hands know things the mouth can't explain. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Watching someone else handle your firearm incorrectly is not just annoying. It is, to a practiced shooter, almost physically painful, like watching someone play a piano with their elbows. The wrongness of it registers at a neurological level. The guy who spent 3 years dialing in his long-range rifle to shoot sub-MOA groups at 800 yards does not want someone picking it up and going, "Whoa, this is heavy," while muzzle sweeping the parking lot. That's not snobbishness. That's the specific suffering of a person who has built a relationship with a tool and is now watching that relationship be casually disrespected. And the frustrating thing, the deeply funny thing if you're not that person, is that they usually can't explain it in real time. Ask them why they looked like they were going to vibrate out of their own skin when someone touched their rifle, and they'll say something like, "I just don't like people touching my stuff." Buddy, that is the understatement of the decade. Let's talk about control, because this is the part that explains almost everything. For a lot of gun owners, particularly those who are serious about their craft, the firearm represents one of the last remaining domains of complete personal authority. They chose it, they configured it, they practice with it, they maintain it. No committee approved the trigger weight. No focus group decided on the grip texture. No algorithm recommended the optic. In a life full of things that happen to you, the job, the traffic, the news, the group chat that won't stop going off at 11 p.m., the gun safe contains a small private kingdom. Everything in it is there because they decided it would be there. Psychologists call this the internal locus of control. The belief that outcomes in your life are primarily determined by your own choices and effort. People with a strong internal locus of control tend to be more resilient, more focused, and here's the relevant part, significantly more protective of their domains of mastery. Which means that when someone reaches for their firearm without permission, they're not just touching a gun. They are reaching symbolically into that private kingdom and rearranging the furniture. And the reaction, the clench, the hey, the full body gravitational pull toward the weapon is not an overreaction. It is a boundary being expressed in real time. The comedy is that it looks insane from the outside. From the inside, it is the most reasonable thing in the world. Now here's something nobody talks about. The relationship between a gun owner who really cares and their firearm is maintained literally through ritual. Cleaning, lubricating, inspecting, checking function. These are not purely practical activities, they are relational ones. There is a man in rural Montana who cleans his rifles every Sunday evening after dinner. His wife knows not to schedule anything on Sunday evenings. His kids know what the sound of the cleaning rod means. The dog knows. The dog has known for 6 years. This is not obsessive-compulsive behavior. Well, it's not only that. It's a weekly act of attention paid to a trusted tool. It's tactile, meditative, and deeply satisfying in the way that only a physical task with a clear outcome can be. Neuroscience is actually pretty clear on this. Repetitive, skilled manual tasks produce a sustained release of dopamine and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode that counteracts stress. In other words, cleaning your gun feels good because your brain is designed to reward competent, deliberate physical work. So when someone else handles their firearm, especially carelessly, that they are not just touching an object. They are potentially disrupting a relationship that has been built over years, one cleaning session at a time. And yes, they will re-clean it after you touch it. Yes, even if you just held it for 4 seconds. Yes, even if your hands were clean. No, they are not going to explain this to you. No, they do not need you to understand. Here's what makes this even richer. The way someone treats another person's gun tells you a great deal about how they treat other people's things in general. Gun owners who are serious about their craft have very clear, often unspoken rules. You don't point it at anything you're not willing to destroy. You treat it as if it's loaded even when you know it isn't. You ask before you touch. You hand it back exactly as you received it. These aren't just safety rules, they're social rules. They're a shorthand for, I respect the thing, I respect the person who owns the thing, and I am someone who understands that some objects carry weight beyond their physical presence. When someone violates these rules, even unknowingly, it's not just a safety concern. It registers as a social violation, a reveal of character. The gun owner is watching not just how you handle the firearm, but how you handle them. This is why serious gun owners sometimes struggle to articulate why someone touching their gun without permission bothers them so much. It's not just the touch, it's what the touch reveals. He just picked it up like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. That sentence contains an entire psychological wound, because to the owner it is decidedly not nothing. It is, in fact, something substantial enough to have a YouTube video made about it. So what drives the person who won't let anyone touch their gun? It's not paranoia, it's not fragile ego. Or not only that, it's a specific convergence of things that are deeply human, the need to protect a domain of competence in a world that doesn't always recognize it. The impulse to preserve a relationship built through time and physical attention. A calibrated distrust based on having watched too many people handle things they haven't earned the right to touch. If you made it this far, subscribe. Like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.